tell you what. Is it only rock and roll or is it big business? It is super entertainment, right? An elitist cliche or rich white boys who won't let anyone else in, just like blacks who control rhythm and blues. Are we segregating our music too? I know it's only rock and roll, gang, but it is dividing our culture in some ways. Or is it too late to unite? I don't think so. I say, let the music give the answer. Come on. Hey, Scotty, how come my buddy Sam Kinison isn't here with you tonight? Huh? Let me introduce, zip it! Let me introduce home base up here for you. We have Stuart Goldman, who was a rock critic, all right? We got Joey Ramone from the Ramones, all right? And we've got buddy of mine. We got Ace Frehley, one of the founders of KISS, all right? Let me start with you, Stuart. Then home base, of course. Home base, we got at, I should say at Loudmouth #1, we've got Steve Whitaker, and at my buddy Alex Mitchell, all right? Circus of Power. Stewie, baby. Rock and roll has always been called the devil's music. You remember that from when you were a kid, all right? When Elvis appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, they didn't show him down below the waist, all right? Told not to shoot him down there. Is what we're seeing and hearing today any worse than the 1956 gyration?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because when Elvis came on, he was original. He started something. You mentioned Bob Dylan before. Bob Dylan was original. Shut up. This guy, I've seen this guy 8 million times. This guy's going to have a day job in 5 years from now. We're never going to remember him. This is not original. This is just some gimp that looks like he crawled out of a garbage can.
Why? What does he look like? He doesn't look like a garbage can. He's a friend of mine, pal.
There's 8 million bands in garages that play just like that.
How much do you know? All right, now you just made the move on him. How much do you know about his music?
I heard it. I've 3 chords.
How come you told our guitar player backstage that we sounded good?
Good guitar player.
Just do me one favor and tell the truth here, okay?
You remember his last album?
I never heard of this guy before I came.
What is his present album?
You probably even know one title of one of the songs.
I never heard of him.
That's because you don't know
then
what
how come you can nail him?
What are you doing here?
How come you can nail him? You're nailing him like so many other critics, baby.
No.
Like so many other critics without knowing what the hell is behind
I just heard him now.
You're nailing him. Why don't you go marry Tipper Gore?
Sorry, you.
No. Why don't you marry someone like Tipper Gore?
Why don't you marry G. Gordon Liddy, pal? You want to make me into a bad guy.
I don't want to make you into a bad guy. You make yourself into a bad guy.
No.
You're attacking something you don't even know about. No. You've never heard their music.
I just heard it.
All right. Okay. Now, you've been around rock and roll since you were a kid.
Love it.
This is a guy who's been around rock and roll since he was a kid.
I think what
well, he used to sing with the replacements for the Kingston Trio. That's like, you know, that's like singing for a replacement of a urinal, man, you know. Now, he's knocked you because you got a few, whatever the hell is stuff.
Well, don't you think, Mort, that skin prejudice is the worst prejudice in the world?
Skin prejudice?
Yeah. Skin prejudice. That's like if you're putting down a black man or putting down the guy with tattoos because of the way his skin looks. No, you're a pretty weird character.
I don't care if you have tattoos.
Like
it's just that
wait a second.
So
the last show you were putting us down for our look. Now no. Maybe I don't dress like I'm out of a Sears catalog or whatever.
When's the last time you washed your hair, pal? You got him on.
When was the last time you washed your mouth?
Hey, Ace,
See, look,
let me get to Ace. Wait a second. We're not getting anywhere here.
Didn't we hear this stuff in the 60s? Didn't we hear it 20 years ago, 30 years ago?
Man?
Go get a haircut. Go wash your hair. Bathe every day.
In L.A., no, but that's what you want to make me. But what I'm saying is...
Don't take cheap shots at me. We're talking about music.
This is Kmart. You're a dime a dozen, man. I've seen guys like you walking down the street. There's nothing unusual about you. I don't care if you have tattoos or don't. If you want to have that for the rest of your life, good for you.
Ace,
I used to have stupid hair, too.
Let me come to you. Oh, we're getting nowhere with this. This guy should have been a dermatologist, not a critic, right? Let me get to Ace. Ace, let me ask you about, you started a group called KISS that created a whole new look for rock and roll.
You know,
all right, okay. Now, what were you trying to do? What were you trying to do? Were you trying to convert rock and roll fans, or were you trying to create them into satanic cults?
Satanic cults and all that had nothing to do with it. We wanted to put on a rock and roll show, not only great music, but we wanted to put out a visual show that was just as good as the music.
All brought about not necessarily by a new generation of music, by a new generation of electronics, of lighting, and everything else. You tied it all in, made it a total entertainment package.
I mean, a lot of people think, you know, KISS are multi-millionaires. For the first 5 or 6 years of touring, we broke even on the tours because we spent the amount of money that we made on tickets, we put right back into the show to make the greatest show in rock and roll.
Joey, the Ramones are the, I guess you would say, the fathers of punk. What is the credo behind punk rock?
Well, I mean... I mean, like,
well,
well,
you,
all right.
Daughter, Joey,
all right, you know,
Joey, my daughter came home from going to dances, right? She come home with a bloody lip when she was 13,
you know what it is?
with scratches.
It's an attitude.
She did slam
dancing. You know what it is? It's an attitude. It's an attitude, whether it be Ramones or Elvis Presley or Jim Morrison, or, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, man, I know.
Look, the guy can't even articulate. He can't even talk,
My daughter came home. My daughter came home, all right? Little Kelly came home when she was a kid, 13 years old. She's 22 now. She'd come home with bloody lips and noses, and she had her hair done in checkerboard squares, blue and yellow hair. It was really neat, man. I really dug it. I dug it so much I shaved her bald. She wanted to lead her class, so she let it bald.
Very conceptual there.
That was conceptual? Oh, let's talk about politics, all right? Before I do that, I want to go Steve. Steve, where's Steve? Steve. Okay, there you are, babe.
Hey.
You guys are the Mr. Cleans of hard rock.
Yes.
Would you like to hassle any of our other guests because of what they do in hard rock?
No, not at all. I think the problem is that a lot of the bands, and these guys already in an earlier show, accept the fact that we're accountable for what we do as bands, and we put out mass music and media and everything else, and there has to be an accountability for what's going on. And we had our first American tour last year. We'd like to give you a T-shirt, Mort. Do you accept this?
All right, nice.
And we saw.
That's a large?
That's a lot, yeah.
Where you sell those, in Japan? Huh?
T-shirt companies know what they're doing.
We saw
That's nice.
We just saw too many thousands of people who
does not,
get
I
influenced.
hope. This does not, I hope, have Jimmy Baker and Tammy on the back.
No.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I'll wear that. I'll wear that out to California. And I'll bring one up. You got an extra one?
Yes,
I'll bring it home to my girlfriend, all right?
Okay.
Lori will get one. Now, okay, you guys like to stay clean. So that means you don't get involved in problems with sex and drugs.
No, we're trying to make a difference. Exactly.
When you're making a
difference,
are you making a difference in the statement of your music or in the statement of the way you maintain your own lives? In other words,
both go hand in hand. Both go hand in hand. You can't live a life on stage and live a normal life differently.
Okay, you're right. So you, in other words, do not use drugs yourself.
No. Yeah.
Do not do music that professes the use of drugs as a great way of life.
Contrary to that.
The opposite
Contrary.
of that, yeah.
Do you guys sell big?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You think good will ever sell? And I don't mean good in a sense of culturally good,
Well, see,
artistically good. I mean good in Mr. Goody Two-Shoes.
Well, we're trying to make a living like Ace and everybody else, but it doesn't matter for us. We're just trying to make a difference, and whether we go, you know, multi-platinum as Kiss did starting out, that's not really what our whole purpose is.
Who do people have to go to bed with to get records? I'd like to know who Ace went to bed with, or who went to bed with Ace to give him a record, all right? We're going to find out. Let's go.
Introducing Lee Press-On Nails.
The Morton Downey Jr. Show, furnished by Quality Limousine Service. When in New Jersey, call 201-785-9071.
Let me ask about politics, all right? Honey, and honey, I love you, and you're looking good. Honey, did you have to go to bed with anyone to get a record contract?
If I had to go to bed with anyone to get where I am now,
No, to get a record contract.
Toilets.
Get a record
I don't have
contract?
a record contract yet.
You don't have a record contract?
No.
Would you like one?
Are you making an offer, Mark? How many inches of record contract do you want to offer me?
Just wait till they get the right thing together.
Exactly, and that's what's happening. All right, but seriously, let me ask you a question. Have you been put upon by anyone who says,
Take it off, boy.
Tell you what, baby. You look like you can sing to me. Would you like to make a record? I'd just like to try for an average try. I mean, not necessarily a record, but...
Yeah,
Safest sex I know, pal, is fully dressed. All right?
you know, the people who make those offers in the business are usually the ones that have no clout whatsoever.
Usually people who can't get you any place.
Well, people can get you places, but on an integrity level, I mean, I don't think we have to resort to such tactics. We're not into...
Does it go on, honey?
It probably does, but not in the circle that we know. We like want to put the knee pads away for women in this industry.
Where's Jesse? Where's Jesse? I want to talk to Jesse Nash. Is Jesse around here anyplace? Jesse, stick with us. Jesse, come here a second, babe. Come here, Mal.
Yeah.
Come here, Music Mal. Is the business... Zip it! Is the business of rock and roll still a dirty business in the sense of these guys trying to get themselves a record deal or get something going for themselves?
Let's put it this way. I think that anybody who's in this industry has got to draw their line of morals. And when I say that, means you have to stick to what you believe in. Nobody's ever going to get any further by going to bed with somebody. If anything, the mystery is gone, especially when it comes to, from a woman's point of view. The point is you got to stick to what you believe in.
Is it a dirty business?
It is a dirty business.
Is it dirtier than it ever was?
It's no dirtier than any other business. It's a
All right.
corporation, and...
All right, then let me go to Ace. Did you have to make any compromises to get you ahead, or who did you have to kiss, huh, Ace?
What, are you serious?
Ace, baby. I mean, let's face it, all right?
I'm not homosexual, and most of the
I didn't
people...
say homosexual. Aren't there some women who run record companies? Yeah! Huh?
Megaforce Records, run by a woman.
There's some women who run record
Not the
companies,
people that I dealt with when it came to me.
You didn't have to do anything wrong, huh?
I signed... My last contract I signed with Johnny Z from Megaforce Records, and, you know...
All right! Johnny Z is looked upon as one of the clean guys. You must have run into some dirty ones
All
before.
I had to do was have a tuna fish sandwich with him. That was the bottom line. No, seriously.
Johnny Z, you get big bonuses, huh?
I don't even pay royalties.
Well, that's no different than most record companies.
The way it is.
Nothing different about that.
No, but I would assume that if a female might have to do that. I
have to go to
was
bed?
never approached by that. You know.
Listen, there's the art of temptation. Why is this guy even talking? He knows nothing about the business. I watched the other show. He's a waste, man. He's a nobody. Are we gonna reduce? We got this bum out. It's the Circus Maximus. He's a nobody. That's amazing. I haven't said anything yet, and they're all. Wait, people are busting their buns to make it. We got nobodies on this show. These are people giving their life to the business. Sir, I gather you don't call me sir, man. Well, I don't know even what you are.
Evidently.
Go on down, talk to each other. Go on down, talk to each other.
Evidently, if I'm a nobody, then you're a nobody because you're putting me on the same level as you do. Listen, we're adults here. We're adults here. Why don't we sit there and talk like adults? What's the matter? You intimidated? Talk to me like adults. I'm here. Words have made you? You lost your tongue? You had a big mouth to me out in the hall there. You asked me who I was. You're just a wimp. That's it. You're afraid to speak. When your time is, you've got it in your corner. All right. You mind if I belt him?
Let him talk. 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 Go ahead, Z. Go ahead, Z. Talk now. Talk.
I'm not going to have a shouting match with you. I'm not having a shouting match. I'm talking to you, baby. The thing is this. I don't even know how you got on the show. I'll be honest. You know something? I write. Ace, come here. I write. You've done more interviews than anybody in the world, including God, okay? Yeah. Did you ever hear of this bum? Yeah, brains. Real literate man here. You know this guy? Who is he representing? The bottom line is, I write about acts that are happening right now. For who? The Woman's Wear Journal?
Sit down with me, Jeff.
Well, excuse me.
You want to get into that? I sell 4 million records a year. What do you sell? If you read the right magazines,
Tell you what, we're going to find out if rock and roll has become even more racist. I want to hear from you. Mr. Z, I want to hear from you, baby, all right? Yeah. Stay with us.
Why did I join the NRA?
The next best.
Let me go, and incidentally, the hottest heavy metal record company in the United States is run by a woman, isn't it?
What company is that?
You don't know? There's
Megaforce Records.
Megaforce Records. Right. Now let me go, if you will, to you, Johnny Z.
Uh-oh.
All right. For years, MTV wouldn't play metal, punk, or black music. Now they play metal and punk, but very little black. Why?
I think
they don't photograph as well.
That was a joke! It was a joke!
And this, let me hear you, Johnny Z.
Everything is basically dictated by cash registers. I remember in 1983 trying to get a heavy metal band signed to the record company, and I used to see A&R guys standing like this. They couldn't even take the records off that I was putting on. The only thing a record company hears is the jingle jangle of the machine. And whatever's hot, and whatever the cash dictates, that's what they're involved with. Just to answer your question exactly.
Scotty, you got to come in here with me, babe.
Payola.
Well, let me introduce Scotty in, all right? Scott, of course, was with Anthrax. Yeah. Scotty. Why, babe? Why is heavy metal all white?
It's hard to say, you know.
Same reason maybe that our rhythm and blues is almost all black?
It's a lot has to do with peer pressure, you know, growing up when you're a teenager, when you start listening to music, and, you know, you're 12, 13 years old, and you just get in with the crowd, and generally, I guess, white kids have always listened to rock and roll and heavy metal, and it's the same with rap music, I think. You know, black teenagers are growing up with kids who are also listening to rap music.
At least you're getting white kids doing rap music. You're not getting black kids doing heavy metal.
You know, you can't. You don't dance to heavy metal.
Living color.
You're going on tour. Anthrax going on tour pretty soon. They're going to do a pretty interesting experiment. Your opening act is Colors, isn't it, over there?
Living Color.
Yeah. Which is a black group. Stewart, where's Stewart? Stewart, you're out there. I want to ask you as a rock critic. Why is the music so divided along racial lines? Has it been this way historically?
First of all, the idea that blacks are segregated against is absurd. I mean, in one sense, the real black guys like Sonny Boy Williamson and Furry Lewis and the guys who
the guys who started. I mean,
rock and rollers are always falling all over themselves, paying homage to blacks. But the fact is that all the blues players in Louisiana that started this stuff are still broke and still living in little shacks. And so the whole idea that, you know, that now blacks are equal is garbage.
Well, wait a minute. Whose fault is that? Is it our fault that they're living in shacks?
Well, maybe it is, considering you ripped off their 4 chords. Maybe you should give them a little of it. Tell me you can play as good as and then we'll talk about it, right? And what about one of the biggest selling groups in America is Public Enemy? Do you see
Well, he
get
says, put on an
recognized?
Anthrax record and listen to a Sonny Boy Williams influence.
You got it, buddy. That's right.
Is it that?
Where?
Where's his
Where?
royalties, man?
Huh?
Where's
I'm
his
saying
royalties?
you won't hear it. I'm saying I
Led
defy you to
Zeppelin
hear
ripped
it.
almost every riff they ever played off
You
those
guys-
people. They didn't get. Did they give him a cent?
We're not
No.
talking about Led
Well,
Zeppelin.
who's
You're
that?
talking about Led Zeppelin. You're talking
Well,
about
you ripped
apples
off
and
Led
oranges.
Zeppelin, man.
Did we?
No, not you. Ace.
Oh, okay.
I was a member of the KISS Army when I was 12,
You
man.
were
I know
not
what
the
it's
Kiss
about.
Army. Why were you a member of the Kiss Army?
Because I was 12 years old. It's 14 years
You
later.
didn't know any better.
That's right. But now I do.
Where's Queen Vixen? Where's Queen Vixen? Queen Vixen, come on up here a second, will you please? I want to see the Queen a second. Take this, you nice lady, and let me ask you a question. Not only are blacks excluded, I think there are only about 3 white groups in heavy metal who are women, aren't there?
Yeah.
And you're one of them.
Well, we're one of them. We're not signed, though. There's Vixen, there's Femme Fatale. Girls School is a good female heavy metal band.
None of them can play,
How
just
come?
like
How
you.
come? I mean, what the hell's going on?
What?
None
They
of them
said
can
no
play.
female could play an instrument.
Go back
Just
to,
like you.
None of
go
them can
back to
play.
Boys Town. Eh?
You
What
guys
can you
need to
do,
go
man?
back and
You
learn
did
how to
like
play
the Nerd
guitar.
Squad
You
here,
can't even play.
right? Like the Nerd Squad.
These are Queen, these are critics. These are the people who decide
fools.
what is good music, man. They decide what's good.
You guys are too old,
That's
man.
why
You're
we have
too
a
old
job
to
and you're
have
not
no idea
signed.
what's going on. No idea. You're
You
way
think
too old.
you think maybe they're still in the you know, Herman's Hermit generation?
Yeah, what is this? Kingston Trio, right? When was the last time anybody here put on a Kingston Trio album, right? Okay. Give me Circus of Power.
Wrong,
or
I was-
Ramones
that's okay.
Any day. Any day.
Look,
All right, I'll tell you what. I still want to find out exactly what goes on behind the producer's doors. Who's laying down on the job? Let's do that next.
And you go to the bank for a home. Let's see for just a second if I can get inside Ace's head. Ace, you're on the road, all right? Rock and roll stars are accused of trashing hotels, nightclubs, everything else, all right?
Yeah.
Give me your best on-the-road story.
Well, you know, there's
No,
probably
give it to me. I don't know, man.
There's a dozen good ones. Well, you know, a lot of rock stars get bad raps. You know, you're on the road 3, 4, 5 weeks in at one point in time, and you don't have a chance to see your family, see your friends, you know, and you get frustrated, you know. The night before, I was supposed to do a big concert in Chicago. My favorite guitarist, my guitar roadie dropped, the neck cracked in half. You know, I would... Oh, come on.
Well, let me hear his story, man. Let me hear his story. What'd you do? What'd you do? Drop your pencil and break your lead, baby?
hey.
Let me hear.
Hey.
Let me hear his story.
So what did I do? You know, I got back to the hotel room, you know. I had a couple of beers. Next thing I knew, a TV was flying out the window.
Well, those things happen. I mean,
You know,
I got to tell you, here's other things.
Before I threw the TV, I made sure nobody was down there.
All right, I worked for a joint. Years ago when I was on the road, I worked for a joint that gave me a $4,000 bump check.
Yeah.
All right? You get back, you need that money to get to the next spot, to pay your band. You don't have any money. I got back to the room, so I threw the television set through the wall. I trashed the bed. I did some things to the, you know, I did about $15,000 worth of damage. So when you hear the stories when you hear the stories about how rock and roll stars are dumping stuff out the window of the Plaza Hotel, you got to know some of the stories that went on before, where they got treated like maybe dirt when they walked through the lobby.
Like that, unprovoked.
How about?
That's the thing, though. I mean, you know, rock stars thrive on this bad. I'll talk to you after the show in the parking lot.
Okay.
These rock stars.
Let's hear from the Dave Clark 5.
All in one. These rock stars thrive on the bad boy image. This wonderful lady here, bad girl image.
Wonderful lady here. Right away, you had to touch your bare arm, right?
Circus, did I? I
With
didn't
your
know.
scabby hand.
Circus of Power. I mean, they're hot. They're good. I like them. They got great ink too. I dig your ink. But you thrive on this bad boy image, and you guys are signed to RCA. You know, you were with major labels for years.
Man, we are what we are.
But you're being sucked up by corporate America. So what do you stand for?
What's wrong with corporate America? What is wrong with corporate America?
Tell me. Signed as they are.
Listen,
have any of you guys? Let me ask. Wait a second. Let me ask. Wait a second. Zip it a second. Zip it, you fat jerk. Zip it. All right? Let's get into your heads. Let's get into your heads for just a minute. Have any of you thought of doing anything for the homeless, for instance?
We have a song on our album State. We have a song on our album State of Euphoria called "Who Cares Wins," and all the lyrics are about the homeless problem in New York City.
Are you donating any of that money to the homeless?
We have no idea how to work this.
Make money.
You know what I mean?
Giving your money to the homeless. If you're gonna write about it, then stand behind it.
Someone, hey, if someone would start.
Shut up!
Just tell them, hey, zip it.
Hey, shut up.
If someone would come to us, we've said numerous times we'd be involved. We did stuff for the American Indians. The homeless problem in New York, we're right behind it. Someone come to us. Let us. Where do we donate the royalties?
Is your publisher donating some of his bottom line profit?
Some, I write for many publications. Some do.
What
Which
publications?
ones? Name the ones that do.
Name one. Name one.
He says some do, but he has to ask.
I want to know what magazines you've written for.
The issue is not who I've written for. The issue.
Are you?
I'm the IRS. What's that matter?
One publication. Name one.
That I write for?
Yeah. Who are you?
I've written for Billboard. I've written for the New York Post.
When? But when?
Recently. That's not the issue here. You're throwing You guys can't answer the question, so you're throwing it back in my face. The bottom line is, do you donate any of your profits to the homeless? The issue is the homeless. You say you write about it. You're so committed. I'm not finished yet. You say that you write about it. You say that you're committed to the cause. Committing is putting your pocketbook to your big mouth. Now, wait. Let me hear an answer. I haven't heard an answer yet. I haven't heard. I'm not going to... Up! I'm talking to him. Whoa! I'm talking to him. You can't give me an answer.
Shut up and let me talk.
Let him answer. He's talking. Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk.
We did.
Go ahead, let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk, Johnny. He's 89.
On August 5th, we did a benefit show at the Ritz for the Megaforce 5th anniversary party. It wasn't donated to the homeless, but all the money was donated to the Cancer Foundation, Diabetes Foundation.
About things. I've written for the Musicians Assistance Program, which helps the musicians, our very own, baby.
In this audience, I see people from Circus Magazine, people from Crank, all national publications. How come nobody knows who you are?
Hey, you know something? You just haven't been reading the right publications, my friend.
I'll be right back in just a second with the audience. Come on.
Here, Club for Men presents...
All right. We're going to get the audience down. Anytime you guys want to start coming down to Loudmouth, you go ahead and do it. But I want to tell you, regardless of the fact that we got a lot of guys here now who will tell you that, yeah, in the old days, they experimented with drugs, hey, used drugs and everything else. Now they claim they don't, that they're fighting to keep people from using drugs. That's good. But, Mr. Goldman, give me a little incantation of some of the people who died.
Here's a litany of the lifestyle of these guys are so proud of. Andy Gibb died of cocaine use. Jimi Hendrix suffocated on his own vomit. Janis Joplin, heroin overdose. Frankie Lyman, heroin overdose. Richard Manuel hung himself. Robbie McIntosh, heroin overdose. Pigpen, cirrhosis of the liver, excessive drinking. Gene Vincent, bleeding ulcer from alcohol.
Dancers.
I could go on and on. This is the lifestyle that these guys are so proud of.
You just covered 22 years of rock and roll, and you only named me about 8 people. That sounds like a cross-section of America.
There are people from every single kind of career you can think of.
There's 85 people on the list.
And I'm not saying you don't have some snowheads and everything else, all right, in rock and roll. I bet you got some working at Chrysler Corporation too.
No doubt.
You know. So what do? Do we condemn the whole damn business?
No.
We don't.
It's a business like anybody else's business in America.
Come on up here, Ben.
I think it's a business. He's a musician. I think it's a business just like any other business in America, and I think it's corrupt. And I think that people play dirty pool, and I think people do what they have to do.
When you say corrupt,
I'm a musician from New
when you
York.
say corrupt,
I'm in the middle of the city.
All right, when you say corrupt, when you talk about, let's say, a major American corporation being corrupt, you're usually talking about the management. You're not talking about the guy on the auto workers line.
Right.
All right? So who are we talking about here? It's a corrupt business. Are we talking about the musician, or are we talking about the guy who runs the business who makes it possible for you to make a buck?
Well, what's music about? I mean, what's it about? Is it about selling style or
don't
fashion?
become esoteric for me. Tell me.
I'm not getting esoteric. I mean, that's a real point of view. Music has become a zoo of style and fashion. And
Always
guys
was.
It always was.
It was, man.
See, now the corporations are behind it. Now.
I can tell you, I remember when Old Gold cigarettes came out in dancing packs, you know. Look, I mean, that's 30 years ago. It was no different than
you didn't have every bozo on the street running around with some stupid haircut. I mean,
everybody crawled out from under the rug and got into the music business.
I gotta tell you.
Music should be about making music. What is the point you're trying to make?
The point I'm trying to make is that everybody crawled out from under the rug and got into the music business. Now it's like a zoo. It's like a zoo. It's not like it was in the 60s or the early 70s.
You keep ragging about everyone who has long hair, all right?
No.
If I had Jesus Christ here right now, you'd want to crucify him again.
You're absolutely wrong. I'm just saying, people are getting signed on how long their hair is. What's that all about?
What group has been signed on how long their hair is?
There are advertisements in Musicians Magazine. It says, hey, I'm in a band, man. I have long hair. And those are the guys that get the calls. You know, it's basically...
So grow your hair, man!
He's not a musician, pal. He's not a musician like you are, buddy. You're a real musician.
I used to have stupid hair.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll put myself up against anybody.
I think you're a guitar player.
Hey, Ace. Come on. Who's talking to you, man?
I think, you know, you're a human being before you're a musician, and there are things that the music that you're playing is about. It's about your life experience. It's about what you're about as a human being. And that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing in music.
I'm an entertainer.
Isn't it?
I'm an entertainer, I'm a musician.
So what's more important, money or music?
To me?
What's more important?
I like to pay the rent. I like to be...
I like to do that, too.
Yeah, I also like to...
You're very fortunate. You're very fortunate that you are where you're at. Because there's a lot of people out here... Yeah. No, you look nice. You look beautiful.
You know the sad part about it? You know the sad... You know what happens?
I've been playing...
The sad part about it... Wait a second, guys. The sad part about it is the system grinds us down into reality. We start off at 21, 22, 25... playing the music, man, because we dig it, because we love it, because it gives a message. And then all of a sudden, we have to pay the rent, and we have to buy diapers for the kid, and we need a car for the wife to take the kid to school now, and we need one for ourselves. And we get trapped, as every generation has before, into earning a living. What's wrong with earning a living?
There's nothing wrong with earning a living. There's nothing wrong with making money, and I mean, it's American to make money.
It's human.
It's human.
Everyone wants to make money, right?
It's just
now,
what they're
it's nice when you make the money, You do what you want to do like he does.
And I'm happy doing
and
what I do.
use some of the money to help other people. Right? Without the government taking it from you. Don't let the government tell you who to help. You decide who to help yourself, all right? Let me go to the... Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you're saying also donate money. I think that it might be enough just to, like Scott Ian of Anthrax says, he writes songs to raise people's social consciousness.
Yeah.
So if you don't donate money, at least that's something. I think that's something to
All right,
go for.
do anything with your talent. Do something with your talent other than pave your own bed.
Exactly, because if you donate your talent, that in turn is donating money. So if you don't donate any money, you donate your talent. That's something, man. So don't diss us. Thank you.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Moonwalk, huh?
Mort, only in this country, God bless America, can people dress the way they want, say what they want, speak the way they want. If this was Iran now, with the Ayatollah Khamenei, or if this was the Soviet Union now, 3/4 of the people in here tonight would be in jail. But not in this country. God bless you.
What you say?
All the way. Am I right?
Yeah. You say, see, he says, only in this country can you dress as you want, right? Baloney, man. Notice I'm wearing a jacket now. I don't like jackets, but they told me I have to wear them. So don't believe it. You gotta wear them, you know. Now let's go. Hey, Ace, you're the theater. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No ties.
I got that loose, man. Go, man.
There's been a lot said tonight. I haven't heard one thing about fans. We're the ones who wait online in the pouring rain. We're the ones who buy the records. We're the ones who call the radio stations. We're the ones who write the letters to the fan clubs. Not one of you said anything about us. What about us?
That's because these people are...
What about us?
Mort, I just want to say, you know, we have a bunch of critics over here. I work at a local hard rock radio station, and we see what's coming in. We see what's new. These people don't jump on a bandwagon until 2 years after the band's made it big. You have talented bands like Circus of Power, talented bands like the Cycle Sluts from Hell here, bands that you people do not support until they've already proven themselves. Who are you? You sit back in an ivory tower, you write about it. How about a little bit of originality in it? You can sit here and you can criticize them and say they're jumping on a bandwagon. You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not a writer, I'm a musician,
I was
buddy.
talking to him right behind you, okay? You got somebody like John Zazula over here who signed King's
I wrote
X.
about Tracy Chapman before she was any, but I've written about maniacs. Let me tell you something. You're picking the wrong argument here. You're picking the wrong argument here.
All right.
Jesse, take a walk, pal.
Go ahead. Let me go to this gentleman right here. Go ahead, pal.
A few minutes ago, someone passed a remark about Public Enemy. Yeah. Okay, now, how come they can make albums about racial hatred, kill the white people, and in the minute someone like Patti Smith does the Easter album, passes a racial remark?
They never said that. Public Enemy never said that.
They have...
Did you buy the record? Did you listen to it?
I have it right from my brother's tape. I listened to it in his car.
All they talk about is black supremacy like all the rest of these bums. They go around like Sharpton and all the rest of them saying, oh, we are the superior race and everything. I listen to the music.
Yeah, they
it's
got
like
it,
middle, and I know. You gotta shut up, all right? Because they're all prejudiced, they're all
Black, Public Enemy, all they say is that it's time, you know, black people, they get a bum deal in this country, and they're black, and they're just saying that black, hey, for white people, yeah, but why can't, okay, but why is a white person, how come you can come out and say that white people, how come you can say white people?
We're the fans. We're the one that buy the records. We have the ultimate decision. Now, if we want to support rock groups, let us support them. They're the best lyricists that there are today. You should hear some of these lyrics.
Interracial, you know, no color barrier, whatever.
Oh, whoop-de-doo, I'm black and I love heavy metal. Shut your
All right. Tell you what, we're coming back with some rock and roll.